This statement might annoy some people. Parkour is not a dangerous sport. If you look on the rankings for the world's most dangerous sport, there are tons of lists where parkour doesn't even make it in the top 10. However, like every single activity on Earth, it can go wrong, but there's a method you can use that will help mitigate the chances of you, your friends, your students becoming injured and stopping the spots you used from being damaged. So let's look at parkour, how not to get injured. Now the method I'm going to talk about is one that I teach at all of my classes, whether they're one-to-ones through Ignotus Parkour in Moray or here at the Movement Bothy in Banchory. And it's called the 3 S's. These are 3 essential things that you need to check before you do anything in parkour, whether it's a single move or a full line. If you check these 3 things before you do anything, it's highly likely that nothing is going to go wrong and you're going to have a very safe training session. This can be used for anything in parkour, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to be using the example of a standing downward cat grab to help better explain things, but basically just take the 3 S's advice and put it onto anything in parkour, be it a jump, a swing, a line, a roll, anything. So the first S that you need to check is surfaces. This basically anything that you are using, check it. So for here, I'll check the scaffolding bar that I'm standing on, that I'm jumping from. Make sure that it's not slippery, make sure it's sturdy, it's grippy enough. If it's not, grip it up. Check the wooden wall here that I'm using, make sure that it's going to take my weight, and also check the bar that I'm gripping onto, that I'm going to be catting to, make sure that's not slippery and there's nothing sharp that I could get my fingers caught on. Here, yes, there are bolts, but my fingers are going nowhere near them, and yeah, the whole frame does shake a bit, so that's just something to keep in mind when jumping to it. As well as checking the things that you are using, also make sure to check the things that you might have to use should it go wrong. So if I bounce off, just check the ground, see what it's like. Okay, this is grass, it's fairly soft, it's not going to hurt much if I land, and it's a nice sunny day, so it's dry, so there's no chance of me slipping on the ground. The second S that you need to check is yourself. And no, I don't mean it that way. Basically, before you do whatever it is, just have a think. Are you capable of doing this particular task? If yes, are you confident with it? This cat grab, yeah, I'm super confident. I've done it loads of times before. If you don't think you can do it, then come back another day. There's no problem with that. The challenge is probably always going to be there. If you know you can do it, but you're not confident, then how can you prep for it? How can you build up for it? And that leads me nicely on to the final S, which is surroundings. Now, checking your surroundings comes in 2 forms. The first form is what is around you that could impact your training. So for example here, this is a publicly accessible temporary parkour park, so anyone can come here. Usually it's not too busy, but when there's stuff on at the rugby club or stuff on at the Bothy, then the park gets busy. At the minute there's no one else here in the park itself, but there are people like dotting around. So are people going to be coming through here? Possibly, but it's quite rare. Another thing you can think about is how the weather affects your training. When it's wet here, if it rains, then obviously the bars and the wood become slippery, the grass becomes slippery. Same if it's icy or snowy, but if we got mild weather or sunny weather, there's usually not an issue here. And the wind, although it can get up to highs of 40 miles an hour here, sometimes 50, it doesn't really affect this cat grab. It's not like a big cat. I don't have a lot of airtime. The second form of surroundings is how you can build up to the challenge. So if I was looking at this and I wasn't too confident with this cat grab, then I can prep with a same distance but more horizontal right here. For the cat down, unfortunately there is no other way. However, because I've got these nice thick bars, they're a lot easier to grab onto. So I might want to start by jumping up quite high and coming down onto this lower one here. That's really the only way in this immediate area that I can practice that cat grab without much going wrong to build up to the final product. So there you have it, the 3 S's: surfaces, self, and surroundings. As a beginner, it may take you a long time to go through all of these checks, but as you get a bit more used to parkour and training in different environments, these checks can pretty much be done with just a look, and it won't take any time at all. Now, obviously, this method is not foolproof. Things can still and can always go wrong. But if you make all of these necessary checks, the chances of injury or damage to yourself, your students, your friends, passers-by, or the spots you use is reduced significantly. Thank you very much for watching this very quick video on how not to injure yourself during parkour. Join me next time for a documentary about the rise of the West Coast. I'll see you around.